Lily Hall slammed the door behind her, dragging her worn suitcase across the creaking floorboards of her adoptive parents' tiny living room. "I can't believe this," she muttered under her breath, her heart hammering in her chest. After 18 years, she had been cast out like a piece of garbage. Mildred Hall, her adoptive mother, crossed her arms, her face tight with disdain. "You should have known better, Lily. You've always been useless around here." George Hall, her adoptive father, shook his head. "Good riddance. Don't expect us to help you. Figure your life out." Lily swallowed her tears, forcing her chin up. "Fine," she whispered, a fire igniting in her chest. She picked up her suitcase and walked out into the crisp evening air, unsure where to go, yet feeling a strange sense of freedom. The city lights glimmered like tiny jewels, taunting her with the life she had never known. As she wandered the streets, Lily's phone buzzed. She nearly dropped it, startled by the unexpected call. "Hello." A warm, deep voice greeted her. "Lily. It's your mother." Lily froze. Her biological mother? She had thought her parents abandoned her, or worse. Mom." Her voice cracked. "Yes, darling." Evelyn Carter's voice was soft yet commanding. "I've been looking for you. You're my daughter, and it's time you came home." The words felt like magic. Her heart raced, her mind spun. A home, real parents, and somehow, she knew, wealth and love awaited her there. 2 hours later, Lily stood before a sprawling mansion that seemed to stretch into the clouds. Her breath caught in awe. The gates opened automatically as if the house itself recognized her, and she stepped onto the pristine marble path, suitcase in hand. "Lily," a chorus of voices rang out, 5 in total, and before her eyes, 5 tall, handsome men ran toward her. Her brothers. They looked like models from a magazine, each with a distinct personality she sensed immediately. "Alex?" she asked, unsure. The tallest, with sharp features and intense eyes, smiled slightly, a rare softness breaking through his otherwise stern demeanor. "You're finally home." The others formed a semicircle around her. Ben winked, Chris jumped with excitement, Dan offered a quiet nod, and Edward hugged her leg like he had been waiting for this moment his entire life. "Lily, you're ours now." Chris laughed, spinning her around. Lily laughed, a sound she hadn't felt free enough to make in years. Tears sprang to her eyes, but they were different now, tears of relief, joy, and disbelief. She had been rejected, and now, she was loved. Inside, Evelyn wrapped her in a warm embrace, whispering, "You're safe here, my dear. We'll take care of everything. No more hunger, no more cruelty. Just love." Lily felt a strange, surreal warmth in her chest. The mansion was dazzling, with crystal chandeliers, walls lined with rare artwork, and every imaginable luxury. Yet, what truly captured her heart wasn't the wealth, it was the laughter, the chatter, and the palpable affection emanating from her new family. "Dinner will be ready soon," Ben said, smirking, "and you'll sit in the best chair. That's the rule for the youngest daughter who's been lost for too long." Alex placed a protective hand on her shoulder. "But first, you'll need to adjust. Life here, it's different. You'll need us." "I think I can manage," Lily said, determination glinting in her eyes. "After all, I survived on my own for 18 years. Her brothers exchanged amused looks, and Edward tugged at her sleeve. "I'll teach you all the fun stuff. Promise." That night, as she lay in a lavish room with velvet curtains and a bed that felt like a cloud, Lily whispered to herself, "I'm finally home." Outside, the mansion lights gleamed like stars, a silent promise that her life was about to change forever. But little did Lily know, the world she had entered was not just full of luxury, but secrets, rivalries, and challenges that would test her in ways she had never imagined. Her journey had just begun. Lily woke to the soft glow of morning sunlight streaming through towering windows. Her room was enormous, walls painted in soft cream, adorned with delicate artwork she couldn't even name. The bed she had slept in felt like a cloud, and for the first time in years, she didn't wake with a pit in her stomach. She stretched, savoring the rare luxury of comfort, when a knock on the door startled her. "Come in," she called, her voice still husky from sleep. The door swung open, and Alex entered, holding 2 steaming cups of tea. "Morning, Lily," he said, his usual stoic expression softened by the early sunlight. "You slept well?" I think so," Lily admitted, glancing around the room. "It's overwhelming." Alex smiled faintly. "It takes time. The house, the family, everything is new. Don't worry, we'll guide you." Before Lily could respond, Ben burst in, grinning like a mischievous cat. "Guide her. I think she needs a crash course in surviving us." Chris followed, hands full of small gifts he had scavenged from the house, chocolates, trinkets, and a tiny stuffed tiger. "Welcome home, sis," he cheered, plopping them on the bed. Dan, calm and composed as ever, stepped in behind them. "Breakfast is almost ready. Try not to get lost on your way to the dining hall," he teased lightly, his sharp eyes catching Lily's bewildered expression. Edward, the youngest, ran circles around her legs, laughing. "You have to play with me first. Then breakfast." Lily laughed, the sound echoing warmly through the grand room. For the first time, she felt like she belonged. But a small nagging thought lingered at the back of her mind, her adoptive parents' words, their harsh dismissal. She pushed it away. That life was gone. The dining hall was a marvel, a long table polished to perfection, walls lined with rare paintings, and crystal chandeliers hanging above. At the head of the table sat Evelyn and Richard Carter, radiant and welcoming. "Good morning, Lily," Evelyn said, her voice gentle yet filled with authority. "We thought you'd join us for breakfast. You must be hungry after your journey." Richard, tall and distinguished, smiled warmly. "You look well, Lily. I hope you feel safe here. Your brothers, they may seem overwhelming, but they care deeply." Lily nodded, still adjusting to the grandeur and warmth surrounding her. "Thank you for everything." The breakfast conversation was lively. Chris and Edward shared funny stories from their childhood, Ben flirted with Lily playfully, and Alex offered quiet advice about adjusting to life in the mansion. Dan, as usual, observed quietly, occasionally interjecting with thoughtful comments. Lily felt a strange mixture of awe and comfort, but her happiness was suddenly interrupted. The mansion's massive doors opened, and a sleek black car rolled into the courtyard. Out stepped a woman in an impeccable suit, her expression sharp and calculating. "Mom, Dad, who is that?" Lily asked, confusion tugging at her voice. Evelyn's expression darkened slightly. "That's Vanessa Chen, our legal advisor. She handles certain matters regarding the family business." Vanessa's eyes scanned the dining room like a hawk, landing on Lily. A small, knowing smile tugged at her lips. "Ah, you must be the prodigal daughter," she said smoothly. Lily felt a chill. Something in Vanessa's tone didn't sit right. "Prodigal daughter," she echoed. Richard nodded slightly. "There are matters we need to discuss, Lily. About the inheritance, the company, and the family legacy. But that can wait. For now, enjoy your breakfast." Lily nodded, though unease settled in her chest. She couldn't shake the feeling that entering this world meant navigating not only love and family but also hidden rivalries and expectations she didn't yet understand. After breakfast, the brothers guided her through the mansion, Alex showing her the security systems, Ben introducing her to the family library, Chris dragging her to the indoor tennis court, Dan quietly pointing out their favorite spots in the garden, and Edward insisting on a playful chase through the hallways. Lily laughed, genuinely happy, but as she glanced out the window at the city sprawling below, she wondered about the challenges that awaited her. This world was dazzling, yes, but it was also full of secrets. And she had just stepped into the center of them. That night, as Lily prepared for bed, she discovered a small, ornate envelope on her dresser. Written in elegant script was her name. "Lily Carter, welcome home. But be careful whom you trust." Her hand trembled as she opened it, revealing a single note. "Your life is about to change in ways you cannot imagine. A friend." Lily's heart raced. A friend? A warning? She couldn't tell. One thing was certain, her life in the Carter mansion was far from ordinary. And the real test of who she was had only just begun. The morning sun barely pierced the heavy velvet curtains of Lily's room. Her mind churned with thoughts of the cryptic note she had found the night before. Your life is about to change in ways you cannot imagine. Who could have left it? A friend? Or someone trying to manipulate her? She heard footsteps approaching and quickly tucked the note into her journal. Alex entered, looking unusually serious. "Morning, Lily. We need to talk," he said, his eyes scanning the room as if sensing her unease. "Talk about what?" she asked cautiously. Alex hesitated, then sighed. "About the family, the business, and the world you've just stepped into. It's not all luxury and laughter. There are complications. Rivals, threats, and expectations." Lily swallowed hard. "I'm ready. I need to know." Alex led her to the family office, a room lined with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city, shelves stacked with trophies, awards, and documents. A long, polished mahogany desk dominated the room, behind which Richard Carter sat, reviewing papers. "Lily," Richard said, gesturing her forward. "It's time you learned the truth about the Carter family legacy. Our wealth isn't just inherited, it's fiercely protected." He handed her a thick folder. Opening it, Lily discovered documents detailing multiple multinational corporations, investments, real estate empires, and the intricate web of control the Carters wielded. At the center of it all was a list of potential heirs and board members, people who would stop at nothing to maintain or seize power. Evelyn entered, her face calm but her eyes sharp. "Lily, you've always been special, even before you knew us. But there are people, both outside and within our circles, who may not welcome your return. Some may see you as a threat to their position, and others, a tool to manipulate." Before Lily could process, Ben barged in, leaning casually against the desk. "Oh come on, this sounds way too serious. Let's not scare her straight on her second day." His grin was charming, but Lily sensed a warning in his mischievous tone. Chris rolled in after him, bouncing excitedly. "I say we show her around the company. How else will she learn about the Carter Empire?" Adventure time. Lily felt a mixture of excitement and dread. Adventure, yes, but she already felt like she was walking a tightrope. Later that day, the brothers escorted Lily to the family corporation's headquarters. Tall glass towers gleamed under the afternoon sun, and the receptionist barely blinked at the name Carter. Inside, Lily discovered the massive scale of the family business, boardrooms buzzing with executives, private elevators, and luxurious lounges. Alexander took her aside. "You need to be careful here. Not everyone will treat you kindly. Some people will try to undermine you, test you, even manipulate you." Lily frowned. "But I'm just me. I don't know how to fight these battles." Alex's voice softened. "You'll learn. And you have us. But always trust your instincts. They won't steer you wrong." As they walked, Lily noticed a woman standing near the boardroom, Vanessa Chen, the legal advisor she had met at the mansion. Her eyes lingered on Lily, calculating, unblinking. There was no warmth there. "She's watching me," Lily whispered. Ben smirked. "Oh, she's always watching. Everyone wants a piece of the Carters. You'll learn fast, some friends will have sharp smiles and sharper knives hidden behind them." The day ended back at the mansion, but Lily's unease didn't dissipate. That night, as the brothers left her room one by one, she pulled out the folder from earlier. One document caught her attention, a hidden clause in the family will, detailing conditions for inheritance. Her heart sank as she read. Any heir must demonstrate loyalty, competence, and strategic insight. Failure to meet standards allows the board to reassign assets and authority. Suddenly, it made sense why the Carters were so protective and why Vanessa was always watching. Lily realized that her return wasn't simply a reunion, it was a test. Her presence threatened established hierarchies, and not everyone would welcome her. As she lay in bed, thoughts racing, a shadow moved across the room. Lily froze, straining to see. A faint whisper echoed. "Be careful, Lily, not everyone in this mansion is what they seem." Her heart thudded. Someone was inside her room. But when she switched on the lamp, no one was there. Only the golden envelope lay on her nightstand, now open. Fear and determination mingled in her chest. She understood now, her life was no longer simple. Luxury came with danger, laughter came with rivalry, and love came with expectations. Lily clenched her fists. Tomorrow, she would face her first challenge in the family business, her first test to prove she belonged not just as a daughter, but as an heir. And she would not fail. The morning sun cut through the towering windows of the Carter mansion, casting golden streaks across Lily's luxurious bedroom. She sat at the edge of her bed, clutching the folder of company documents, her mind racing. Today was the day, her first real test in the family business. Alex knocked gently on her door. "Lily, it's time," he said. "You'll meet the board today. Think of it as your initiation." Lily's stomach churned. Initiation? Are they going to grill me? Alex shook his head, though a faint smile tugged at his lips. "Not everyone is kind, and some will try to trip you up. But you're clever. Trust yourself." The boardroom was intimidating. A long polished table stretched the length of the room, surrounded by the company's top executives, their expressions serious, their eyes appraising Lily. Vanessa Chen sat at the far end, her posture perfect, her gaze sharp and calculating. Richard stepped forward, clearing his throat. "Lily, this is your first challenge. Our subsidiary, Ardent Tech, is facing a potential acquisition by a rival. I want you to analyze the situation and present your strategy." Gasps rippled through the room. Lily's pulse raced. She had never handled anything remotely like this. "Do I have any guidance?" she asked, trying to sound confident. Richard shook his head. "You have 1 hour. Your instincts and judgment are yours to trust. Remember, loyalty and competence are the keys to our legacy." Lily took a deep breath, forcing herself to focus. As the executives whispered among themselves, she scanned the documents. There were numbers, projections, contracts, and competitor analyses overwhelming at first glance. But she remembered Alex's words, "Trust yourself." She began piecing together the puzzle, analyzing the rival company's strategy, market share, and weaknesses. Slowly, clarity emerged. Her instincts told her to propose a defensive acquisition of a small but innovative tech firm, one that would protect Ardent Tech's market position while signaling strength to competitors. When she presented her plan, she spoke with a surprising mix of logic and passion. "If we acquire the firm, we not only protect our assets, but we gain access to key patents and talent. The rival will think twice before making a move, and Ardent Tech remains independent under our guidance." The room fell silent for a moment. Vanessa's eyes narrowed, her lips pursed. Then, surprisingly, Richard smiled. "Well reasoned, Lily. Excellent initiative." Ben, leaning casually against the wall, whispered, "Looks like we have a strategist in the family." Vanessa, however, wasn't finished. "Miss Carter, while your plan is interesting, have you considered the long-term risk of employee turnover? Integration challenges? Shareholder pushback?" Lily's hands tightened around her notes. She could feel the weight of the board's scrutiny, Vanessa's subtle challenge. But instead of faltering, she responded confidently. "Yes, those risks exist. That's why I recommend a phased approach, retain key leadership, incentivize talent, and maintain transparent communication with shareholders. It's a balanced solution that mitigates risks while asserting control." Murmurs of approval rippled through the room. Vanessa's frown deepened, but she said nothing. Richard nodded. "Very impressive. Lily, you handled your first test with poise. But remember, the world of business and the world of the Carters is never straightforward. There are always hidden forces at play." That evening, Lily returned to the mansion, exhilarated but exhausted. The brothers crowded around her, each reacting differently. Alex offered a rare smile. "You did well. I knew you would." Chris jumped up and down. "You crushed it. I can't wait to see what you do next." Dan, ever calm, said, "You've shown intuition and strategy. That's a rare combination." Ben smirked. "Don't let this boost your ego too much. Vanessa is already plotting." Edward tugged her sleeve. "Can we play now? Strategy is boring." Lily laughed, the first full laugh in days. But she couldn't shake the feeling that Alex, Ben, and even Vanessa were only part of the challenge. There were secrets deeper than boardroom battles, hidden motives, family rivalries, and a past that had been carefully concealed from her. Later that night, unable to sleep, she wandered the mansion's library, a room of towering bookshelves filled with leather-bound volumes and rare manuscripts. One particular shelf caught her eye, a hidden lever disguised as a bookend. Curiosity overtook her. The shelf shifted with a soft click, revealing a narrow passageway. Heart pounding, Lily stepped inside. Dust motes floated in the golden lamplight, and the scent of old paper and secrets filled the air. At the end of the corridor, she found a small room, walls lined with files, photographs, and letters. On the desk lay a photograph of a young girl, not much older than Lily. A note beside it read, "Some truths are buried to protect you, but the world will always test the Carters. Learn wisely." Lily's hands trembled. She realized the mansion, the family, and even the fortune she had just entered were layered with secrets, and some of them might be dangerous. Her first challenge in business had been a success, but the real test, the one that would decide her place in the Carter empire, was only beginning. And this time, the stakes were personal. The morning sun barely penetrated the mansion's grand halls, yet Lily felt anything but bright. The hidden room she had discovered the night before replayed in her mind the photograph of a mysterious young girl, the cryptic note, and the sense that the Carter's perfect facade concealed dangerous truths. Her phone buzzed with a message from Ben, "Breakfast. You need fuel for round 2 of Surviving Us and the board." Lily sighed, tucking the folder from yesterday under her arm and heading to the dining hall. The atmosphere was tense. Vanessa Chen was already there, chatting casually with one of the senior executives. Her gaze swept across the room and lingered on Lily, sharp and calculating, sending a chill down Lily's spine. Alex joined her quietly. "Be careful today. Some of the board members may be charming, but they have agendas." Lily nodded. "I know. I'll stay alert." Breakfast was a mix of banter and strategy discussions. But just as Lily began to relax, the board called an emergency meeting. A sudden development had arisen. Ardent Tech's competitor, a rival company named Orion Innovations, had leaked damaging rumors about the Carters' financial stability. Shareholders were panicking. Richard addressed the room, his voice firm. "We must act decisively. Lily, this is your first real test under pressure. I want a strategy to counter this, and you have 2 hours." Lily's heart raced. The stakes had just doubled. As she analyzed the situation, she noticed something troubling. The leak wasn't coming from an external source, it originated from within the company. Some board members had subtly manipulated data and reports to weaken Ardent Tech, aiming to consolidate their own power. Her mind raced. She could expose them immediately, but doing so could provoke backlash. Instead, Lily crafted a subtle counter-strategy. She leaked a carefully worded press release showing stability while planting evidence that suggested the true saboteurs would be caught. During the presentation, she remained calm, her voice steady as she outlined her plan. Executives nodded, impressed, but Vanessa's expression darkened. She leaned forward, voice low but sharp. "Miss Carter, clever, but are you certain your sources are correct? One misstep could ruin the company." Lily met her gaze. "I've verified everything. The evidence points internally, and I've prepared contingencies. The Carters don't fail." A tense silence filled the room, broken only by Richard's approving nod. "Well done, Lily. This shows resourcefulness and foresight. But remember, not everyone here is loyal. Trust is earned." After the meeting, Lily returned to the mansion, shaken but triumphant. The brothers greeted her with a mix of curiosity and concern. Chris clapped her on the back. "So, you just outsmarted half the board. Impressive." Ben smirked. "Vanessa's probably plotting your downfall as we speak." Dan's calm voice cut through the chatter. "Be cautious. The more you succeed, the more resistance you'll encounter. Today, you learned that family business and family loyalty don't always overlap." Alex, quiet and intense, pulled Lily aside. "There's more you need to know. That photograph you found, it's of my sister, not me. She disappeared years ago under mysterious circumstances. Our parents kept it hidden to protect the family. Some members of the board may know more than they let on." Lily's heart skipped a beat. "A sister. But I thought I was the only one who was lost." Alex shook his head. "No. That's the part they never told you. There are layers to this family, secrets that even I don't fully understand. You need to be careful whom you trust. That night, Lily found herself alone in the library again, poring over old family files and letters she had discovered in the hidden room. One envelope, yellowed with age, contained a letter addressed to her biological mother from an unknown author. Evelyn, the girl you gave up, she knows nothing. But power attracts betrayal. Keep her safe, or the Carters will pay the price. Her hands trembled. Someone had warned her parents about the dangers she would face. But why was this kept from her? A sudden sound made her spin. In the shadows of the library, a figure emerged. It was Vanessa Chen. You shouldn't be digging so deep, Lily, Vanessa said smoothly. Some truths are dangerous. Curiosity can be costly. Lily straightened, refusing to be intimidated. I'm not afraid of the truth. Vanessa's lips curved into a thin, cold smile. We'll see how brave you are when the next betrayal comes from inside this mansion. As Vanessa disappeared into the shadows, Lily realized the Carters' world was far more perilous than she had imagined. Allies could be enemies, smiles could conceal knives, and the line between family and foe was thinner than she had ever expected. For the first time, she understood, surviving the Carter Empire wasn't about wealth or luxury. It was about trust, courage, and uncovering secrets that could destroy or save the entire family. Lily clenched her fists, determination blazing in her eyes. She had faced her first external challenge in business. Tomorrow, she would confront the betrayal within her own family. And this time, she would not be fooled. The morning air in the Carter mansion was unusually tense. Lily stood by the grand window of her bedroom, watching the city below, her mind a storm of thoughts. Yesterday's revelations, the hidden sister, Vanessa's warning, the internal betrayal at the board had left her restless. Today, she knew, would be the true test of her place in the Carter Empire. Alex entered silently, carrying 2 cups of tea. Big day, he said, handing her one. His usual stoic expression was replaced by a rare flicker of concern. The board knows you're gaining influence. Vanessa won't sit quietly. Some members may even try to turn the family against you. Lily took a deep breath, gripping the cup tightly. I'm ready, she said firmly. I've learned that survival here isn't about wealth, it's about instincts, strategy, and courage. I won't fail. At the corporate headquarters, tension crackled like static in the air. The boardroom was packed with familiar faces, executives who had smiled at her yesterday, now wearing masks of suspicion and thinly veiled hostility. Vanessa sat at the head, her posture perfect, her gaze fixed on Lily like a predator observing prey. Richard and Evelyn stood at the side, offering quiet support, but even they seemed wary. Miss Carter, Vanessa began smoothly, your recent success is impressive. But some of us are concerned that you may not fully understand the risks of leadership in the Carter Empire. Lily met her gaze without flinching. I understand more than you think. I know loyalty, competence, and vigilance are essential. And I also know that betrayal doesn't always come from outsiders, it comes from those we trust. A murmur rippled through the room. Vanessa's smile tightened. The board meeting escalated into a fierce debate. Lily presented a detailed strategy to counter the internal sabotage at Ardent Tech while securing shareholder confidence. She demonstrated the board members' subtle manipulations, but did so tactfully, framing it as a step toward collective accountability rather than direct accusation. Vanessa challenged her at every turn, dissecting her assumptions and testing her logic. But Lily remained calm, countering every point with precision, showing not just business acumen but also a deep understanding of the Carters' family dynamics. Benjamin leaned over, whispering, "You're killing it. Vanessa's used to intimidating people, she's never met someone like you." Chris added, grinning, "Don't let her stare scare you. Keep going." Even Alex's lips twitched in a faint smile. The climax of the meeting came when one of the more senior executives, a longtime board member named Victor Lang, openly challenged Lily. "Miss Carter, do you even know the consequences if your plan fails? This isn't a game. One misstep, and the Carters' empire could crumble." Lily took a deep breath. She knew this moment wasn't just about strategy, it was about asserting herself, claiming her place in the family and the empire. "I understand the stakes. But the real risk lies in inaction, in letting fear dictate decisions. I've studied the threats, assessed the risks, and prepared contingencies. This isn't just my plan, it's a plan for the Carters, to protect our legacy and each other. The room fell silent. Even Vanessa's sharp eyes betrayed a flicker of surprise. Richard finally spoke, voice steady and commanding. Lily, you've proven today that you belong not only as a daughter but as a strategic mind in this family. Loyalty and competence are earned, and you've earned both. The board's next steps will reflect that. Back at the mansion, the brothers greeted Lily like heroes returning from a victorious battle. Alex said, "You've done more than survive today, you've established your place." Ben smirked, handing her a cup of celebratory tea. And made Vanessa realize she's not the only one who can play the game. Chris jumped up and down. "We should celebrate. Lily, you're officially part of the Carter team." Even Dan nodded approvingly, a rare smile gracing his face. But as Lily sat quietly in her room later that night, she felt a shadow of unease. The battle had been won, yes, but the war was far from over. The missing sister, Vanessa's continued scheming, and hidden forces within the family meant danger was still close. She pulled out the hidden envelope once again. The words echoed in her mind. "Some truths are buried to protect you, but the world will always test the Carters. Learn wisely." Lily's determination hardened. She was no longer a passive observer. She was a Carter, and she would protect her family, confront betrayal head-on, and uncover every secret in the mansion if she had to. The camera panned over the sprawling mansion, the city lights glinting like stars, and a faint shadow lingered near one of the towers. Vanessa, watching, waiting, calculating. Lily clenched her fists, a spark of fire in her eyes. The first showdown had been won. But the true battle for the Carter legacy and for her place in it was only beginning. The mansion was unusually quiet that morning, but Lily could feel the tension in every corridor. After her first major victory at the board meeting, she had earned respect, but she also earned enemies. Vanessa's cold eyes haunted her thoughts, and the photograph of the missing sister she had found in the secret room kept resurfacing in her mind. Alex joined her at breakfast, his usual calm demeanor replaced with subtle concern. "Lily, it's time you learned everything we know about my sister. It's part of understanding the Carters, and it may help you navigate the threats inside the family." Lily's heart pounded. "Tell me. I need to know." Alex led her to the hidden library passage, stopping at the secret room she had discovered earlier. He opened a large leather-bound book and carefully turned the pages, revealing photographs, letters, and documents. "This is her," Alex said, pointing to a photograph of a young girl, about the same age Lily had been when she was separated from her adoptive parents. Her name was Isabella. She disappeared years ago under mysterious circumstances. Our parents never told anyone, fearing it would destabilize the family. Lily studied the photograph, a pang of sympathy mixing with curiosity. "Do we know what happened to her?" Alex shook his head. "Not exactly. Some say she ran away, others think there was foul play. The truth is buried deep, and some members of the board may know more than they're letting on. That's why Vanessa is always watching you. She knows there's a connection between you, Isabella, and the Carter's legacy." Determined to uncover the truth, Lily spent the next few hours combing through the letters and documents. She discovered coded messages, hidden in correspondence between her parents and trusted aides, referencing a guardian who had watched over Isabella after her disappearance. One letter hinted that Isabella might have been taken under the protection of a rival business family, kept hidden to protect her from threats to the Carter's empire. A sudden sound made Lily jump. Vanessa stood at the doorway, her expression neutral but her eyes sharp. "You're digging too deep," Vanessa said smoothly. "Some truths are dangerous, Lily. Not all secrets are meant to be uncovered." "I need to know," Lily replied firmly. "If my sister is out there, if she's in danger, I have to find her." Vanessa's thin smile turned cold. "Bravery is admirable, but recklessness can ruin everything. Remember that the Carter's enemies are patient and ruthless." Later that day, Lily's brothers noticed her distracted mood. Chris bounded into her room. "What's going on? You look like you just solved a crime." I think I'm getting closer to finding Isabella," Lily admitted. "And Vanessa, She's hiding more than she's letting on. Ben leaned against the doorframe, smirking. That woman's trouble. But you're trouble for her too. I like it. Alex's voice was more serious. Whatever you discover, be cautious. Some secrets were buried for a reason. The wrong revelation could shake the family and the empire to its core. That evening, a mysterious package arrived at the mansion, addressed to Lily. Inside was a small music box and a note written in the same elegant handwriting as the envelope she had received earlier. If you want the truth about Isabella, meet me at the old Carter estate at midnight. Come alone. Lily's pulse raced. The old estate was abandoned and rumored to be haunted by family legends. But she knew she had no choice. She had to find the missing sister and uncover the full story, even if it meant risking everything. As night fell, she slipped out of the mansion, her heart pounding with excitement and fear. She had faced boardroom battles, betrayal, and hidden threats, but nothing prepared her for the unknown dangers lurking in the shadows. The streets were quiet as she approached the crumbling gates of the old Carter estate. She paused, taking a deep breath. Whoever had sent the note, they held the key to the truth. And tonight, she would uncover it. The old Carter estate loomed like a ghost in the moonlight. Its once grand pillars were chipped and worn, windows covered in grime, and the garden overgrown. Lily's heart pounded as she stepped through the rusted gates, clutching the music box she had received earlier. Every shadow seemed to whisper secrets, and every creak of the floorboards echoed like a warning. Stay calm, Lily, she whispered to herself. This is just another challenge. You've faced worse. A figure emerged from the darkness. Vanessa Chen, impeccably dressed despite the abandoned setting, smiled coldly. You came, Vanessa said, her voice smooth, but with an underlying edge of menace. I hoped you wouldn't be foolish enough to come alone. I needed answers, Lily said firmly, stepping closer. About Isabella. About the family. And about you. Vanessa's smile didn't falter. You think you're ready for the truth? Some truths are dangerous, and some can change everything you think you know about the Carters. Before Lily could respond, another figure stepped out of the shadows, a woman in her early 20s, strikingly familiar, with the same sharp eyes and delicate features as Alex and Lily. Lily. The woman's voice trembled with a mix of relief and fear. I thought no one would ever find me. Lily's heart froze. Isabella. Yes, the young woman said, tears welling in her eyes. I've been hidden away all these years. I was kept safe, but also kept away from my family. Vanessa's expression darkened. I helped keep her hidden. Not for her safety alone, but because some in the family would have used her against you. She's part of the Carter's legacy, and the wrong hands could destroy everything. Lily took a step forward. Why hide her? She's family. We could have protected her together. Vanessa's cold eyes met hers. And risk the empire being torn apart? Some things are bigger than emotions, Lily. Bigger than loyalty. Power has its price. Alex's voice echoed from behind, firm and commanding. Enough, Vanessa. This ends tonight. Out of the shadows, other board members, those who had subtly opposed Lily, stepped forward, revealing themselves as co-conspirators. They had planned to use Isabella's reappearance to destabilize Lily and take control of the Carter's empire. Lily's mind raced. She realized the mansion, the board, and even Vanessa's calculated antagonism had all been a part of a larger test. But now, armed with the truth and the presence of her long-lost sister, she had a chance to turn the tide. The confrontation erupted. Words clashed with accusations, alliances were tested, and the truth about the missing sister and hidden agendas came to light. Lily and Isabella worked together, presenting evidence of betrayal and manipulation that left the conspirators exposed. Vanessa, realizing her influence slipping, tried one final move, an attempt to manipulate the sisters against each other. You think you can trust each other? Vanessa hissed. History has shown family bonds are fragile. I've watched your parents' empire crumble under the weight of secrets before. Are you ready to repeat it? Lily stepped forward, unwavering. No. Isabella, we're stronger together. Family isn't just blood, it's trust, loyalty, and courage. And that's what will protect us. Isabella nodded, tears of relief streaming down her face. "I'm ready. Let's end this." With strategic precision, Lily and Isabella exposed the conspirators, proving their deceit to the remaining loyal board members. Vanessa's schemes unraveled, her manipulations laid bare. In a final act of defiance, she stormed out, but not before a warning. "This isn't over. The Carters' world always has shadows waiting." Lily and Isabella embraced, the weight of years of separation lifting. The mansion, the empire, the legacy, they now faced it together, stronger, wiser, and united. That night, back in the mansion, the Carter family gathered. Richard and Evelyn hugged both daughters, their eyes glistening with pride and relief. Alex, Benjamin, Chris, Daniel, and Edward surrounded them, a mix of protectiveness and celebration. "You're both home now," Alex said, his voice steady but warm. "And together, nothing can shake this family." Lily looked around, feeling the strength of her newfound family and the bonds she had fought to protect. She knew challenges would come, rivals would test them again, but with Isabella by her side and the support of the Carter brothers, she was ready for whatever the future held. Outside, the moon cast its glow over the mansion, illuminating the sprawling estate and city beyond. Shadows lingered, as Vanessa had warned, but inside, the Carters had reclaimed their legacy and their family was whole once more. Lily whispered softly, determination in her voice, "We'll face the shadows, together." The morning sun bathed the Carter mansion in gold, reflecting off the marble floors and crystal chandeliers. Lily stood on the balcony of her room, staring at the city below. For the first time in years, she felt at peace, but she knew the past few days had been only the beginning of her journey. Beside her, Isabella appeared, smiling softly. "You look like you're planning the next takeover," she teased. Lily laughed lightly. "After everything we've faced, I just want a moment to breathe. But yes, eventually, we'll make sure the Carters' empire is unshakable." Alex joined them quietly. "You've proven yourself, Lily. Today, you are not just a daughter, you are a Carter in every sense." The family gathered in the grand dining hall for breakfast. Evelyn and Richard Carter exchanged proud smiles as both daughters sat side by side, the 5 brothers flanking them like guardians. Ben leaned in toward Lily. "So, business battles, secret siblings, conspiracies, all in a week's work for you, huh?" Chris grinned. "We survived it, and we did it together. I'm officially declaring today a Carter holiday." Dan's calm voice added, "We've cleared internal threats, restored order to the company, and reclaimed our family legacy. But we must remain vigilant. There will always be challenges." Edward, the youngest, bounced in his chair. "I just want cake." The room erupted into laughter, the tension of past days dissolving into warmth. Later, Lily and Isabella met privately in the mansion's hidden library. "I still can't believe we were kept apart all these years," Isabella whispered. "And all because of threats, secrets, fear." Lily took her hand, determination in her eyes. "We were kept apart for their protection, but now, together, we can face anything. The Carters are stronger than ever, and we'll make sure the family and the empire stays united." Isabella nodded, a spark of resolve in her eyes. "Let's rebuild everything. And this time, no secrets will divide us." But even in victory, shadows lingered. Vanessa Chen had vanished after her defeat, leaving only a single envelope at the mansion's gates. Inside was a card with 3 words in black ink. "This isn't over." Lily held it tightly, a thrill of anticipation and caution mingling in her chest. She looked at Isabella and whispered, "It seems our journey isn't quite finished. But this time, we'll face it together." The episode shifted to a bustling boardroom. The Carters, united and confident, held their first official family-led meeting. Lily, Isabella, and Alex led the discussions, presenting a vision for expansion, innovation, and security. Executives nodded in approval, and even the most skeptical members of the board acknowledged the sisters' competence. "This is just the beginning," Lily said, her voice firm. "We've reclaimed our legacy, but the world will keep testing us. Together, we're unstoppable." That evening, the family gathered on the mansion terrace. The city lights twinkled below, the soft breeze carrying the scent of blooming flowers. Evelyn and Richard raised their glasses. To family, Richard said. And to a future we build together, stronger than ever. To family, everyone echoed. Lily felt a warmth spread through her chest. The journey had been fraught with betrayal, secrets, and danger, but she had found her place, reclaimed her identity, and reunited with her sister. The Carters were whole again. Yet in the distance, shadows lingered, a reminder that power, legacy, and ambition never truly sleep. Vanessa's warning echoed faintly in her mind, but this time, Lily felt ready. She glanced at Isabella, the brothers, and her parents. No matter what comes, she whispered, we face it together. The camera panned outward, over the sprawling mansion and the twinkling city, fading into the night sky. The Carters had reclaimed their legacy, but the story of the empire, the family, and its secrets was far from over.